Hey guys, this is a new type of content on my channel. If this is something you enjoyed, let me know in the comments, like and subscribe so I know if I should continue this series in the future. Thanks for watching.
Yonas, who think Yonas gotta take the win?
Believes in Enel.
All right, how about Jackson?
A lot of Jackson fans.
To say. Players shuffling up, and this is always a moment too where you're like really worried you're gonna mess up the shuffle and like the cards fly everywhere.
Yeah,
I would be thinking about that the entire time.
I'm sure the players are nervous. This is the finals, the very last match
Yeah.
and last game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not just the last game of the U.S. Nationals for One Piece. This is the last game of the entire event.
Now, Gavin, with your expertise from the Japan medal, if you're Enel right now, because you did lose game 2, would you opt to go first or second?
So I think it definitely depends on what build you're playing and how the players are playing, but I definitely would choose second just because he knows his player isn't going to let him get a decent get-outs turn ever. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can try to play for Starve, but you know he's just going to have Borsalino. I think it's just worth it to play for the aggressive Holly play and just try to get that board fast.
And we've seen that happen 2 games in a row. I mean, the Holly was an impediment.
Yeah, but like
deal with early on.
Putting it on when your opponent has 5 Dawn versus when your opponent has 6 Dawn is just such a huge difference on how many resources, how many chances they're going to have to be able to clear that board as quickly as possible. Because if you're going first in the matchup, you only have Ice Age Lucci to clear it when it comes out immediately.
Yeah.
That was very respectable there. Both players shuffled. They opted no cut on both players. They respect each other.
Yep. Fist bump. This is the final game. Let's hear it again for both of our players. Going to the last game of the One Piece U.S. Nationals. Yonas Abraham on the Enel.
And Yonas does opt to go second.
On the Sakazuki.
Does he have the opening Shira? Yes, he does.
And he also has 1 Katakuri and a Yamato in hand, so it definitely seems like it's going to be a strong play from both our players.
All right, yeah. Grabs the Gadatsu early if you're going to find a time to use it, you know?
And
right.
Blue Hina is a great answer.
Yeah. Get a card draw, get a body on the board that needs to be dealt with.
All right, continuing the double Starve method.
Oh, and he has it in
He
hand
has
already.
the combo. Starves with the Ohm. He could find another Holly here. Does he find another one?
Don't
Oh, no.
see it.
Be reasonable. Be reasonable.
Classic Ohm enjoyer mentality.
Woof, woof.
The Doge is out.
Yeah. We let the dogs out? Oh, now we know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sabo.
Sabo's definitely a strong play here.
Yep.
He knows he has the Gedatsu in hand, so he gets to play around that and keep his board going for the next turn.
Very good point. We saw that Gadatsu get picked, and it's like, well, I'm going to try to put you in a position where you're still not going to get to use it.
All right, we're at 6 now. So next turn, we could be seeing the category play, putting the Shura back if you choose to, or removing a body. Or he could go for the pressure. Would you go for a pressuring starting?
I think it's definitely hard to choose. I think it also depends a lot on your hand. I think he's just given up on Gedatsu being useful in this game, so he's just going to start pressuring and start trying to make progress on
Yes.
That-
Aggro.
Did he hit
thinking.
Ice Age?
He's thinking. It looks like a trick.
Oh, it's Hound
It's
Blaze.
a
Okay,
Hound Blaze.
Oh, Hound Blaze. Yeah.
He's
Hound Blaze
thinking-
is definitely a more difficult decision.
Yeah, for sure. Because right there, Hound Blaze could technically remove the Holly. However, if giving a card back, you can Ohm Holly again.
Yeah.
And this is scary, man. I mean, this is the aggression we were talking about, right?
Nice
Finding
going
the
for the-
early Holly.
Another Holly.
Wow.
And I think the 6K attacks are definitely because of the Sabo in play, but just in general, Sakazuki has such trouble because it usually only plays 8 2K counters, just having that constant 6K going at its leader.
Right. Gidatsu ends up being used for the counter.
So going 5 at Ohm, fix it, 5 again at Ohm. Taking out as many cards as possible from Jonas's hand.
Yeah. We got to do something, right? You got to start chipping away at that board. And the Ohm does get trash.
So I believe that is 6 Dawns remaining.
He does have one attacker left. He could do a Hound Blaze and then attack with Sabo into the Holly.
Yeah, great eruption to start
He
off.
might also just have a Lucci.
Yeah.
There is a
And it looks
Luigi.
like he does.
Yeah. Yep. Poised to drop the Rob Lucci. Potentially. No.
Discards the
Alright.
Hound Blaze first because he opts say, I don't need this Hound Blaze anymore.
He just wants to know all of his options before committing to a plan.
Yes.
Yeah. It's obviously, smart move.
Always give yourself multiple options before deciding.
I think he might be debating whether he attacks with the Sabo to see if he can get, that free. And now he can get both characters with the Lucci. I think it was
Yes.
a great play to attack
Very
there.
nice.
Very, very smart play.
Yeah. Board totally cleared by Jackson on Sakazuki. And now you're fighting a bit of an uphill battle again, if you're Yonas.
And even if you don't have any blockers, even if you're opening up for getting life taken by your opponent, just having such a pressure on the board is very, very important for this matchup.
Yeah.
And there's the no. Going 8 at the Sabo, 5 at the Hina. Does remove 2 more bodies.
Yeah, so Jonas striking right back again.
Jackson's at 9 Dawn.
And Enel's life is definitely still high, but his hand is starting to get very low.
I think that's 4?
Yeah.
Believe so.
4 to 7? I believe that was 7.
All right.
So
Oh,
5
I
at
like
life.
this attack. He's specifically attacking in.
Minus
No
confident
trigger.
Enel. Yep, no trigger off life, which has to feel a little bit bad.
He does have the Hina. Is he just going to go straight for a Lucci, or is he going to attack in first?
Hina.
Yep.
All right.
Hina.
So Anel's now down to 2 costs.
Can remove it with that Lucci if he wants to.
And he does have that
another
Hound
option.
Blaze.
Yeah. So, and that kind of prevents you from keeping the Enel around too, I suppose. So,
So 9 at leader.
for the, yeah. Oh, Satori thinks so. Yep.
Yep, it was a Satori. He says, I don't need to play this.
Very interesting choice not to play, just because you know it's not going to be taken this turn, and it could let you have some of that board.
Valuing the 2K counter possibly.
Just debating his leader ability before he passes.
Yep. We have a Hina in hand, but we also have a 7 cost Porcelino.
Yeah.
He chooses the Great Eruption. We don't need this Great Eruption anymore. The 7 cost Hina, the 3 cost Hina, being able to reduce, and then a Porcelino follow-up does allow him to remove a Yamato if he needs to, since he can attack with his leader.
Yeah. The preparation for the later stage of the game well underway.
And this is definitely going to be a very high value Yamato, being able to take out that
Oh.
Kutan.
Very powerful Yamato right there.
Right.
And it's
Wow.
definitely starting to look good for our Enel player.
Yeah. Not bad, but that is Rebecca off the top.
Yep.
Jackson.
His hand size is pretty significant too in comparison.
You'd think so, yeah. I mean, you've got the tools. Can you put it together in a way?
I mean, he does have
Oh.
the perfect combo to get that Yamato off the board.
Yeah. Got the ability to bottom deck it, it seems like.
Leader attack Hina and Borsalino, the perfect combo.
Yep.
Yeah, this is why he opted for the Great Eruption instead of any one of the other 2.
I like it. I mean, you know this stuff is coming too. If you're the Sakazuki, it's the better you can prepare for the inevitable, the better chance you're going to have. Oh,
But he chooses not to take it.
okay. So what's the plan?
Starts with a 5k swing, minusing the Yamato.
Trigger?
No trigger.
Oh, all right.
It looks like he just wants to establish a big board going into the next turn and just try to make sure that he has pressure of if you don't deal with some of my characters, I might just end the game next turn.
Yeah, that's always a threat when you're down at that 1 life position as the Enel player. Even though it does take 1 extra, but still.
Kuzan, Borsino, passing turn, leaving 2 Dons up. Unfortunately, he does not play the shockwave that he could play.
Surprise shockwave from the top rope.
Oh,
Been a
man.
while. All right.
There's Damaru.
Yep.
He rests the Kuzan. He doesn't like that Kuzan being on board.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, that's definitely going to be the biggest threat to him this game because he wants to create more threats, and he does have that 8 Katakuri in hand.
Yeah, the -4 is such a big thing to get rid of. Try to keep your Yamato alive.
So,
I think he's just going to go straight into Enel and just try to create more pressure on his opponent.
Seems that way. Still looks like
7 remaining.
7 Don to work with. Yep.
The Russian L can come down.
But
It's
Oh, he's
Sanji.
going double
Oh,
blocker.
Brule,
all
double
right.
blocker.
Wow. The double blocker turn.
We have the
Or Yonas.
defensive play along with the offensive removal.
Yeah. And so that puts Jackson in a really interesting position because you've got the Hina, you've got the Borsellino out, but what is the math puzzle now to get in and finish off the Enel?
Well, I actually
least
think
do
he has a
it for him.
perfect answer here because he can just do the full Rebecca Hinalucci loop.
True.
He also has Mancherry, so he can do it without losing a lot of resources in his hand. He will have 2 blockers, and we already see 1 Amal going down. So out of 4 cards, he would need 2 more out of 4 copies in his entire deck.
Starts with 5,
Taking time to think as well. which-
reducing
probably
the
a good idea.
Brule cost.
Yeah.
So he definitely is keeping the line open.
So
it's
this
reduced-
could be a double removal for the Sanji and the Brule right here.
It feels like you are projecting the Rob Lucci a little bit, but I mean, it's not a shock, right?
Ever so slightly.
Yeah. And that might clue you into Rebecca coming down.
Takes the Shiki.
Yep. There's
We do have the Hina.
And oh my goodness, it's Rob Lucci.
We got the happy set.
That's right. That's what you're looking for. Ultimate Sakazuki combo.
That's a lot of bodies on board. That could be pushing the following turn right here.
Yeah, exactly. That's on Jonas's mind or Jonas's mind as he goes into his next turn.
But if he does have double Amal in hand, he can just end the game right here.
Very, definitely. I do believe he had 1, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while. Starts with
Can you-
6.
We can also hear Jackson asking, how many Amal do you have left in hand?
Yeah. Okay, Rebecca down as well. There's the other Yamato.
But because he isn't getting that Hina out of it, it's not a lot of value on that Yamato.
Keeps the game going, and I think at that point,
Yeah.
Jonas is happy with it, you know?
Yep, the more big bodies you have, the more secure you feel when you go for that final push.
Right.
Discards the blue Hina for the Sakazuki effect.
It's a real fencing match because you're trying to bide your time, stay alive, stay safe, set up for the perfect counterstroke.
All I know is that I'm at the edge of my seat right now as it
you're
approaches
not.
its climax.
You're fully on it.
Give me a moment.
Okay,
There we
all
go.
right. Careful, my tip.
And he does have high counter density in his hand. He does have the Mancherry, so he could go for another 2 blocker play this turn. He definitely looks like he can survive 1 more turn.
Yes.
It's just how does he want to further the board state this turn to make sure that he can?
Yeah. However, as he further improves his board state, he needs to play more blockers to fend off these Yamato swings. Otherwise, they will be taking a lot of cards out of his hand.
Yeah. Mathing it out.
He might also be searching for lethal. Enel does have a notoriously low counter density, only next to Katakuri and Sakazuki in this format.
Maybe.
It's going for a swing
Oh,
at
all right.
the Yamato. I see 4 downs remaining, so that is a 12K swing.
It's going to get
And he has
countered
it.
out. Double 2K counters. Keeping the Yamato alive. And here we go. Rebecca, once again.
Rebecca's looking for, does he have a 2K in there?
He might not.
Ooh,
He does not, he takes the
picks
Sabo.
okay. Back over to Yonas.
But this was a great way to reduce the Enel player's hand without actually giving him that life or that trigger opportunity.
Yes, another thing is, no player stays at 2. Amaru is not live for resting the blockers.
That's a good point. Definitely something that Jackson should be thinking about.
Oh, wow. He just.
Wow.
Is that every Yamato in his deck?
I was like, gonna
Was
open
that the
this, like,
fourth
is that-
one?
I believe so. Talking it over a little bit.
I think was a 6K swing. I saw a Sabo get discarded.
That's right.
So, so you need to discard one more card.
Right. It's been a long day. Ooh, Toshigi.
They had to
That's
give up 2 cards by, because he,
unfortunate.
yes.
Bit of it feels bad, but it's a bit of it feels good for Yonas.
A triple Yamato board.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
You never
from there.
want to see
No
it as a
kidding. I was
Sakazuki
gonna
player.
say. Yeah.
Never want to see that for sure. No, as any player, I never want to see triple Yamato on the other side.
Yeah, but especially not in the final game of the U.S. Nationals.
No,
The
definitely.
last place you want to see it. But that's exactly what Jackson is seeing right now. He's got to find a way to deal with it. Swings in onto one of them.
So that's 11 at the Yamato.
Yep.
And he has it.
Has the counter. Incredible, but here comes Rebecca. Yeah, grabbing the Toshigi back again. Another 2K counter in hand if he needs it. Yep, uh-oh. This is looking grim. What's it going to be? 10K. Gets the Rebecca blocker. Another 10K.
8 remaining.
Yep. 8 down remaining.
Two in hand.
All right.
Takes the 10.
What was it? Didn't quite catch it.
It was a
Another
Toshigi.
Toshigi, okay. Borsalino out. And there Enel swinging in for everything.
He does
Oh,
counter out.
the counter is there. Oh my goodness.
It's
Yeah,
there, but at
double
what
check it now.
cost?
Yeah, exactly. At what cost? There's nothing. There's only a couple cards in the hand.
3 cards in
Anything to
hand.
do with it. Triple Yamato seems like a bit too much. He's going to remove one of them.
And he's just passing the turn.
That's right. The
That's
crowd
it, sir.
chanting Yonas. Does he have it? Seems like it's
Here we
there.
go. 19.
And after all that, the giant attack comes in, and Yonas Abraham wins the U.S. Nationals.
Sakazuki has fallen.
How about that? After all the domination we've seen around the world from Sakazuki, it takes Yonas Abraham here in North America to end the reign of terror from the blue-black deck.
There's only one God in North America, and it is Enel.
That's true.
As Enel would say, he is God.
I mean, that must have been like a level 1 crime or something like that from Sakazuki. There you go. Wow. What a finals. We went to game 3. It was super tight the entire time. Triple Yamato, just a little bit too much to deal with. Who knew, right?
Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
And the players in the crowd are just chanting his name.
And why wouldn't they? After a performance like that, coming at the beginning of the weekend, knowing you're going to face that field of Sakazuki's,
That
able to come out on top.
Definitely
Incredible
one of
story.
the most enjoyable games I've watched. As Sakazuki into Enel, where both players went back and forth, it was not one-sided whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like, for a best of 3 to just have both players drawing almost everything they wanted the entire game, like we didn't see anyone missing their key turns like that entire time.
Yeah. It was a really well-played best of 3 by both players. And I mean, what do you expect? They made it this far. Obviously, they're incredible players. But to be able to maintain that poise in this situation with that pressure, I'm so impressed. They're both going to Japan anyway.
Yeah.
So there's still that feeling, right?
Of course,
Even
of
if you are
course.
Jackson, you're still going to the World Finals.
And he's definitely going to be able to get that revenge in Japan. He definitely has that opportunity.
Yeah.
Time to go and boot camp up. Get ready. You got go for the win. It's not you're not over. It's not over yet. Japan is the final destination.
Yeah, and I'm hyped too, right? Because we've already seen a little bit of adaptation, a little bit of shifting of the meta between the different regions coming into this weekend. And now after this weekend, you know we're going to see more. There's more flexibility. There's more changes that can be done with these decks.
You know, I think it's really interesting because, you know, at the beginning of OPO5 in Japan, nobody played Sakazuki. It was all P. Luffy, just purple Luffy
Yes.
everywhere you saw. And then we saw the rise of Sakazuki, and I think it's interesting because the past 3 championships, Sakazuki has fallen every single time.
Yeah.
What's also amazing is the fact that it was Sakazuki consistently winning over and over again. And now we have Enel taking down Sakazuki, saying, no, you step down, I'm number 1.
Yeah, in Australia, we saw Purple Luffy win. In Latin America, we saw Purple Luffy win. And now we have Enel. And it looks like our players are ready, so let's get them on the stage. Congratulations, Jackson and Yonas.
Right. Wow. Coming out on top.
So Jackson, how are you feeling right now?
I mean, I wish I won, but I'm happy that Yonas won because I think he's gonna represent us well as the #1 seed.
And Yonas, the first OPO5 Enel win in one of these championships. How are you feeling?
Extremely lucky.
Nah.
So those were some great games. What do you think was the real turning point for you in that game?
The third game, I had a relatively aggressive start with the ohms, and I really wanted to push that aggression, and then I just drew multiple Yamatos. So I just pivoted hard to the I'm going to last as long as possible and hopefully get some card advantage.
And you definitely lasted. So both of you are going to be going to Japan in March. I can't wait to see you there. Just what are your thoughts going into the first world finals of the One Piece TCG?
I am so excited to finally play against Japanese players. I've heard such good things about their quality of play, and I finally get to play against the best. So that should be fun.
What about you, Jackson?
Honestly, the same, but not just Japanese players. There's a lot of like European players, Latin America players, Oceania players that I've only seen in like Eggman videos, but now I get to meet them in person, and I would just love to meet them and talk to them and like exchange contact information so I can expand my playtesting circle and get better at the game.
Yeah.
Human Do, do you have any questions?
Oh, absolutely. So the two of you now are representing North America, right? Will you be playtesting against each other, with each other, or will you be playtesting separately, going for the win?
We better make North America win Worlds.
I think we're NA
right.
first and then individuals.
Yeah. So I've got a question too, kind of for both of you too. As we've seen sort of the meta start to shift a little bit around the world, the Sakazuki's changing a little bit, the adaptations that come along with it. I want to hear your predictions about what we might see at the World Championships. How are things going to change a little bit even more?
Just to confirm, is Worlds OPO5 or is it OPO6?
It is OPO5.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay. That gameplay is going to be really interesting. I think Enel has a lot of different dynamic strategies that Sakazuki has to pivot against, and that makes their decisions way harder than mine. So the best Sakazuki players need to have the metal to last multiple hours against very complicated games, and I am very likely continuing to bring in Enel.
But I will say there are only 16 players at the World Championships.
Fair enough.
Do you think that's going to change what decks people bring to the event?
I think with all the results that came out, like everything has won. Sakazuki, Enel, Katakuri, and even Purple Luffy. So I don't think that you can really try to metagame it. I think everyone will just stick with what they're comfortable with.
Awesome. So I'm sure you guys can't wait to get your trophies.
I am
So
excited.
to present your trophies, we have the main producer of the One Piece card game, Ogawa Shun. So first, in second place, we have Jackson Hoang. Woo. And in first place, the legendary God Enel player, Yonas Abraham. And Yonas, it's not just a trophy. We have a very special present for you from Maki Otsuki. And, of course, you love him, Kitadani-san. Can we get Hiroshi Kitadani up on the stage? They are going to present you with a special...
Whoa.
Both of you with special signed cards.
Congratulations.
We are on the cruise now.
And with that comes to an end Bandai Card Fest World Tour 23-24 in LA. I hope you all had a great time. It was an amazing finals, and I can't wait to see all of you in Japan. Thank you guys so much.